Hello, welcome to this recorded version of the PeopleSoft Procurement Card Pre-Go Live webinar. We're going to discuss what is PeopleSoft Procurement Card, why are we implementing it, what are the key changes, more about My Wallet and expense reports, and next steps. What is PeopleSoft Procurement Card? It's a new process for automatically interfacing all procurement card transactions directly into PeopleSoft, allocating these transactions to the appropriate accounting, reconciling the transactions to receipts, and electronically approving the transactions in the PeopleSoft module. I've created a simple flowchart to demonstrate the process of PeopleSoft Procurement Card. 1 to 2 days after the purchase, the transactions are interfaced from Bank of America into PeopleSoft, into the My Wallet page. At that point, receipts and descriptions can be added to the My Wallet page, but most importantly, use tax can be declared on the My Wallet page. At the beginning of the month, the expense report can be created and throughout the month maintained, where the allocation of the accounting can occur. The statement can be attached at the end of the month, and receipts can be added also at the end of the month. At that point, the expense report is submitted for approval, where there's electronic approval and signatures are not required. After the expense report is approved, it is then posted to the general ledger. The My Wallet page is a page where all My Wallet procurement card transactions are initially loaded, and it's where one can review the Level 3 enhanced data. Use tax is also recorded here. The expense report page is the PeopleSoft page where all procurement card transactions will be copied from My Wallet into the expense report. It will typically represent a month-end statement for a cardholder. And it's also where the accounting distributions are allocated. Why are we implementing PeopleSoft Procurement Card? Well, one of the main reasons is that all transaction detail will be available in PeopleSoft to meet financial reporting requirements. It facilitates electronic approval and online receipt review. It leverages the approval configuration and experience that we have with payment requests, requisitions, and travel expense reports. However, please be clear, the routing and the approval for procurement cards is not the same as requisitions, payment requests, and travel. And for many of us, PeopleSoft Procurement Card leverages the training and experience of the PeopleSoft travel implementation. We know that many of our liaisons are also travel proxies and have been trained for the travel implementation and may also be using the travel product to reimburse employees for their expense reports. That same page will be used to allocate the PeopleSoft Procurement Card transactions. The other reason we're implementing this, it reduces our complexity in the integration between Bank of America and PeopleSoft. What are the key changes in PeopleSoft Procurement Card? The first key change is that scanned receipts shall be attached to the expense report. Now these can be batched into one or more image documents if necessary. And if your department wishes, the receipts could be attached individually to each transaction, but that's up to the department. But however, scanned receipts, even if they're batched, are required. Electronic approval by the department head and the cardholder shall be required and can replace the statement signature. Departments shall be granted 1 month past the statement date to accurately complete and approve each procurement card statement expense report. We know that we want the PeopleSoft Procurement Card expense report to accurately represent that cardholder statement, to have attached backup, attached statement, to accurately be described and allocated correctly. And we know that it may take some time to meet that requirement. For example, it may take a few days to submit the expense report for approval to get it complete, ready to be submitted for approval. And then it might take some time for the cardholder to approve and also the department head to approve. Therefore, Each department shall be granted 1 month past the statement date to accurately complete and approve the procurement card statement expense report. The next couple of slides, we want to discuss process flexibility. There are really two options for each department, and even within the department, within their cardholders, there's different options that you can use to when this product is implemented. Now, the first option is the standard option, which is liaison entry and cardholder approval. And in this option, the department liaison is responsible for attaching the documents and allocating the charges to the expense report, basically maintaining the procurement card transactions in the expense report. Cardholder approval is then required, very similar to the travel process. After cardholder approval, the expense report is then routed to the department head for final approval. And this is a traditional process model that we currently use in Works, with the addition of required cardholder approval. The other option that a department may wish to use is cardholder entry with liaison approval. In this example, your organization may want more cardholder involvement in the process. Perhaps your cardholders fit this model very well. They work at computers, they're in offices where they're able to maintain their procurement card transactions on the expense report. In this example, the attachment of the statement and receipts and the allocation would be performed by the cardholder. The expense report, after the cardholder has completed the maintenance, would then submit the expense report. It would be routed to the liaison for a completeness review and approval. After the liaison approves it, the expense report would then be routed to the department head for final approval. When we go live with PeopleSoft Procurement Card, both of these options will be available to you. You don't need to communicate to us which option that you need to do. The configuration will be in place for each option. You may want to start with the traditional model of liaison entry and cardholder approval, and then after you're comfortable with that, maybe switch that to cardholder entry and liaison approval. Either one of those options are available to you at Go Live, and it's up to you as a department to decide which of those options you would like to implement. The next slide displays the PeopleSoft Procurement Card My Wallet page. What I would like for you to do is refer to our My Wallet video, creating a PeopleSoft Procurement Card My Wallet video, to see. It's about a 7-minute video where we describe how to use the My Wallet page, and it's a great demonstration of the My Wallet page and what's required on that page. The next slide displays the PeopleSoft expense report, and I've also highlighted the key features of the expense report for PeopleSoft Procurement Card, and that is the attachments at the top where the statement and the receipts are attached, a description that is required for each line that can be a description of justification or further description of the transaction that helps downstream users such as approvers or any user reviewing the financial information that can see details about that transaction. And then the last box at the bottom is the accounting distribution on each of the line, each procurement card transaction. As I stated with the My Wallet video, we have about a 12-minute video describing how the expense report is maintained and how to copy the My Wallet transactions into the expense report. So I recommend that you watch both of those videos, those short videos, as a demonstration that accompanies this presentation. What are the next steps? We have training in May and June. All of that information will be submitted by the purchasing department so that you can sign up for training in May and June. That's hands-on training for all our liaisons. And we'll also have webinars for all the approvers and the cardholders, where everyone will just participate in the webinar, and I'll demonstrate how the approval pages work and how the approvers and the cardholders are notified for the approval. And then, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, there's recorded videos of all the training. The targeted go live is at the end of June or the beginning of the July statement period. So we're probably thinking around that, I believe that Monday, July the 2nd, is our day that we'll actually go live with PeopleSoft Procurement Card. And there'll be more information communicated to you as we get closer to that date. So that concludes this short video, which is a recorded version of our PeopleSoft Procurement Card pre-go live webinar.